Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're out here in the outskirts of LA, California for the first drive of this legend right next to me. What is it? It's the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma. This one is a TRD Sport with a slick shifting 6-speed manual transmission. But before we get into this all-new mid-size truck, let's talk about what's going on here. Toyota. They know the business, the first Japanese brand ever to build a truck here in the United States. And they were the ones to do it first full size with the Tundra. Well, guess what? The smaller size compact truck segment kind of fizzled out by the late 1990s, but Toyota kept at it and they have the Tacoma filling in the mid-size truck segment. Now, what's fascinating is that a lot of brands sell you the truck with option packages. So the chance to personalize your truck at the initial time of buying it is very limited. But with this Tacoma, there's lots of different colors, lots of different trims, and also you could go 8-speed automatic or 6-speed manual. But what I want to find out is if you're looking for the best new truck to bring the versatility of a 6-speed manual, but yet also have the ability to do the job day in and day out, whether it's on-road or an off-road gravel area like we're at now, is this Tacoma TRD Sport the way to go over the competition? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our supersonic red example and find out. Right off the bat, the color fits it to a T, and that's one of the things that I love about the Tacoma is they've got some outstanding color options. Now you'll notice you get standard LED daytime running lamps and LED headlights. And I like the way you have that from a value standpoint. Love the way they shaped the headlight housing. And I also love the way they spilled the color. On the TRD Sport, you're getting color matched fender flares, and that supersonic red does it fabulously. We do have a little bit of functional aero and a little bit of non-functional. So we'll give it a half a zonk since it's half functional, half not. Now, as you come across the main grille, on a TRD Sport, it is flat black. I would have liked to seen a little bit of supersonic red on the grille. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. But totally functional up top, in the middle, and then down below you do have a large air dam. Now before you zonk that, just know this is removable. So if you leave it on, it will help with fuel efficiency, but you could take it off if you're gonna go somewhere where maybe the terrain is not so smooth. You're also gonna get LED standard fog lamps, which is a nice touch to have standard as well. Now, as we rise up, you do have a bold hood. And guess what? You're getting your bulge. You have your bulge and you have a hood scoop. The only problem is you could use the hood scoop for a pencil box, maybe a place to put your baseball cards, but it's fake. So one of those things would have been nice to see this functional. Does it look good? Hands down, it looks good, just not functional, but I do like the extra bulges that you get on the TRD Sport. Now, as we come around the bend, going this particular trim, you're gonna get specific wheels. So I like the way they have these gunmetal metallic wheels with our TRD badge in the center, 18-inch wheel, some machined aluminum polished parts around the edges, 265 on the width, 65 series sidewall, and you can see our all-new frame suspension and everything lurking behind with this particular TRD Sport. Now, as we rise up, you do have those color matched, nice fender flares looking great, color matched on the mirror cap. And then another thing that I like is just it's all solid one color. Same thing on your door handles. We have our Tacoma badge blacked out, and it just really gives a nice unique identity having a Sport with all that body color matching. As we work our way towards the rear, I think one of my favorite parts is how they really worked this back bed area. And if you look at the competition, this is an area where a lot of times it just looks bland, just flat-sided. They really gave it a lot of personality with the bulges. Of course, you're gonna get your TRD Sport vinyl graphics in the back, Toyota Racing Development, a lot of history there. And then when we swing it around the rear, what's cool about the TRD Sport, we got 4x4. So this is where you could go off-road, take the air dam off, go off-road with that 4x4 quality, Tacoma stamped into the back. And then you'll notice how that lower bumper area, nicely done. It's got some grippy placement for your boots, for your shoes, for your clown shoes. We have, of course, full tow capability. And then watch how nice this rear bed tailgate is going to open. You'll notice this little edge that helps with the arrow. I love where you have that arrow above it. You got the Tacoma name. When the bed, the tailgate is down, and then of course you have the capability to tie down all sorts of things back here. A dirt bike, a golf cart, tons of room, bed liner, and a full composite bed. But you know what? It's not just about what you could haul in this truck. It's about having options, and this has a 6-speed manual. Let's get under the hood and talk power of this TRD Sport. All right, guys, we got the hood pop. You do have a prop rod. Underneath the hood, it's interesting because they decided not to put an engine cover. And if you pop the hood, you might say, well, why does it look like this? This is what a modern engine in today's world looks like. And you'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4. These are your ignition coils. There's 4 of them. This is a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Now, before you get all upset about it not being a V6, let's talk about power. 2.4-liter turbocharged inline 4, 270 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. Like I said, made it to a 6-speed manual. The truck weighs right around 4,300 pounds. Payload capacity is 1,705 pounds. Towing capacity is 6,500 pounds. Now, the great news is that each trim, each grade is going to have different MPGs. With the 4x4 and the manual, you're looking at 18 in the city, 23 on the highway, and 20 combined. And this is what I was talking about. Bringing the variety of different ways to option your Tacoma makes it so different than any other mid-sized truck. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see it roll out of here. All right, guys, we're inside this new 2024 Toyota Tacoma, this being the TRD Sport. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm ready for a new truck. I want a new Tacoma. My grandpappy had a freaking Tacoma that lasted over 1 million miles. I want to start and get my own so I could break the 1 million mile mark. How much is it? Very good question. The way that this TRD Sport is optioned, with the manual transmission, you're looking at an MSRP of $41,800. Let's see what you get for the money. And remember, this is a pre-production model, so some of the finishes may not be exactly finished on how you will get it when you buy yours from the dealership. But let's say those words to the door panels. I do like the way they brought a little bit of color. Now, the big zonk is there's no soft touch material up top. And that to me is a missed opportunity because that's where I like to put my arm when I'm cruising down the road. I do like the bright white with the TRD badge there. That's part of the Sport package. You do have a nice armrest, a place for where you could put your arm, and a nice center pocket there where you could put easily, I would say, 4 avocados, California avocados, so you can make some guac when you get home. Down below, it's a little tight. So maybe 2 bananas and a smoothie to wash it all down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, I like the way they brought the white trim in here with the Tacoma name. You're going to have a place perfect for some muffins. And there's a place up the road where they bake some of the best muffins and scones. Easily put, I would say, 5 muffins or 4 scones. The scones are a little bit bigger and they're a little bit harder, but that's where you're going to put them. And then you come on in, talk about big. Check out the size of that screen. You have a 14-inch infotainment system screen with the new multimedia, Toyota multimedia hardware. What's great is that you have a USB-C on the side to where if you have an inside camera, you could plug it in. You got your TRD start-stop button, since this is a TRD Sport. And then you have the same flexibility of nice, quick, easy scroll. You could go into your vehicle settings, vehicle alerts, make all your different adjustments. And then, of course, you're right back to where you started. We throw it into reverse. Large camera. I was told that if you have 14 inches of screen, you want to use the whole 14 inches, and Toyota has successfully done that with trajectory, which is awesome. Working our way down, I like the way they have this little holder for 2 boxes of Tic Tacs. You have your standard AC controls, that's not a bad thing. 3 stages of heated seats, and I like these toggle switches for the AC and stuff. You do have a place where you could stand up your phone, and this is where you have your electric e-brake, 2 USB-Cs, a 12 volt, and then here's where it all comes together. This is that 6-speed manual transmission. The throws are long, but they're actually very crisp and very smooth. To get into reverse, you actually push down and go over into reverse, but 6-speed manual, nice to still see. You do have your IMT, intelligent manual transmission. This is the automatic downshifts, like you would find a GR Corolla. You flip this switch to go from 2 high to 4 high to 4 low, and you got your drive modes. So they got you covered very nicely. 2 cup holders, super soft on the armrest. Flip it open, what do we got? You actually have, somebody left their BMW key in here. A BMW key, I wonder whose car this goes to. I might be driving home in a BMW. Hopefully it's an M2 or an M3. That'd be nice. But we do have our Toyota key fob in here. The only thing is that these key fobs remind me of the ones from the 1990s. They're kind of plasticky. But the great news is that guess what? If you have that special, remember that little medallion that your grandmother gave you for being the best baseball player ever? You could keep your medallion in there. Even though you were never able to make it to the World Series, you still have that medallion and your grandmother's love. Seats, I love the cloth. The stitching is nice. Good bolstering, manual adjustments for the passenger on the TRD Sport. Manual adjustments with a little bit of electric adjustment, which I'll show you. No sunroof on this particular trim. But why don't you get your butt over here? I want to show you the triple pedal action in this TRD Sport. All right, guys, business time. Come on in. I like the large door opening to get in and out. You'll notice, like I said, the triple pedals. Nice aluminum clutch pedal, brake, and throttle. The only problem is I wish they would give me an aluminum dead pedal. And I wish it was just a little bit wider. They kind of made it really skinny, like a Twizzler. Now, I promised you some electric. Here's your electric on the driver's side that actually controls the lower lumbar. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel amazing in here. I love the space. Steering wheel, the leather, a little bit of silver, some simulated stitching, flat black on all the buttons, manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and then you got your 12.3-inch digital display. Look at the way the tack wraps around that top area. I could twist to go into the different modes. Obviously, we're gonna keep it in sport. That's how I roll here on Raiti's Rides. And all the graphics and everything are laid out very clean. But you know what? This is a king cab, not an extra cab. This is a king cab. So let's get in the back and see if your passengers are gonna sit like royalty in the back seat of this Tacoma. All right, guys, back seat time. Now, let's be real. If you're expecting a ton of room back here, you need to go full size. You need to buy yourself a Tundra. But for a mid-size truck, it is bearable. Now, I did have to move the passenger seat up a little bit to give me some extra room, plus to be able to just showcase what the heck is back here. No pocket behind the driver. So if you have a bunch of change that you're holding in your hand, a bunch of coins, I wouldn't sit behind the driver because you're gonna have to hold them in your hand and your hand gets all sweaty and it starts to smell. Sit behind the passenger and you can keep your change back here. Because trust me, there's a lot of tolls, especially if you want to go over the Golden Gate Bridge, if you're taking that kind of journey, or maybe you're going over to Alcatraz, you got to pay the tolls. And that's where you can keep the change. I do like the way they have the 2 cup holders, and you have 2 USB-Cs. And because this is a TRD Sport, there is no center armrest. So my advice is if you're going to be driven in a TRD Sport, you want to have your pillow pet with you. Maybe 2, because then you can take your 2 pillow pets and kind of lean on those. The great news is, check it out, when you're done with your pillow pet, you got storage space underneath. For me, I could care less about the pillow pet. I could literally put, or you could literally put, I would say 6 boxes of Twinkies back here. What the hell? Make it a nice variety pack. Get yourself some Little Debbie Star Crunch, maybe some Little Debbie Swiss cake rolls, and some Twinkies in there. And then what you do is you sell them to people that are waiting at like bus stations and stuff that are maybe hungry. Sell it to them. You might make a profit, help you pay off your Tacoma. But you know what? It's that time. There's no trunk that I'm aware of. We got a 6-speed manual. Let's go on throttle in this TRD Sport Tacoma. All right, guys, we are inside this 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. And right away, what's great is you're gonna love the driving position in here. They really did a great job setting up the interior. Everything is well within reach, and such a large infotainment system. I want to say it's probably class leading at 14 inches of infotainment system. I think one of the great things that I love about the setup of this vehicle is the steering, and definitely where the torque comes into play. I know a lot of people are gonna say what they will about it not having a V6, but the great news is where the torque curve is, it really comes in nice and low, and it pulls all the way through the rev range, which is hard to do with a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. But having the capability and the availability of an 8-speed automatic or this 6-speed manual is really comforting to still see them have that as an option, and allows you to really have it your way. Just like at Burger King, you could have it your way in your Tacoma. The shifter is at a good height, the shift lever. But like I said, throws, of course, are gonna be on the longer side because of it being a pickup truck rather than a sports car. But the operation of the shifter is very smooth, very precise, and you know where each gate is within the gearbox. All right, guys, we need to go on throttle. Are you ready with a slow roll? On throttle, here we go. I tell you, definitely a lot more fun than the 8-speed automatic, but really does a great job getting the power down to the ground, of course. And when you put it into different modes, like for example, when I put it into sport mode, you could feel the difference in the steering and the throttle sensitivity, which is great. Sometimes, depending on the truck, you can't notice a difference, but with this truck, you do. Having the intelligent manual transmission setting to where it automatically rev match downshifts for you is nice, but the fact that you could turn it off and do your own is nice as well. I think they did a really great job with working the suspension and stiffening the chassis to not only make it a better handling truck, but a better riding truck. Really, really nice how the downshifts are just so smooth. Let's go on throttle again. Nobody's behind me right this second. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. On throttle, here we go, yeah! Chirping tire's a happy tire. But like I said, it pulls all the way up to redline, which on this truck is 5,500 RPM. And the fact that you have the ability, if you're gonna go off-roading, it has the ability to where you just push the clutch in. If you stall it, you push the clutch in and it automatically fires back up, which is nice. But I'm telling you, the downshifts, super smooth. Slow roll. On throttle, here we go. It's funny how the whole experience changes when you add a manual transmission into the whole layout. Really, really just makes it feel like you're more connected. And of course, when it comes to connectivity, they got more connectivity than they have ever had at Circuit City with your USB-Cs, your 12 volt, the whole shabam. And then what's nice is when you have the longer drives, the way that they work the suspension and everything really allows you to feel comfortable, to feel confident, and to be in a truck that, let's be honest, I think styling-wise, they hit the nail on the head. All right, guys, I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what the TRD Sport with the 6-speed manual transmission brings to the table. It's been quite phenomenal being out here in California on these twisty roads. But we're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been a slick shifting kind of day with this new Tacoma. Got to thank the whole Toyota USA team inviting us out so that we could bring the on-throttle action of what this Tacoma is all about. Let me know in the comments section. Are you happy that they decided to keep the 6-speed manual? And are you okay with it being paired to a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rise family. Of course, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for Lori Givens Raiti working that camera like a champ. Thank you, Lori, for putting your body through punishment day in and day out to get the awesome camera angles. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.